Hey everybody, it's GoblinX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing another Premier draft of Lorwyn Eclipsed with an Alchemy card added to every single pack. These draft queues are absolutely absurd because you get packs like this. Double Mythic from the main set plus an Alchemy rare. We could take any of these cards and start with something super powerful, but when in Alchemy, let's play with some cards we've never played with before, shall we? Current Curriculum, 1 and a white. For an enchantment, the first merfolk you cast each turn has Convoke, and at the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, conjure a Stony Brook Schoolmaster onto the battlefield tapped. That last ability is the one that I think is super absurd. You do have to get in a position where you have at least 2 creatures on board, but if you're in that position, you can tap them by convoking other merfolk spell out to trigger it every single turn. And then once you get the Schoolmasters going, every time you're tapping those, you're making even more tokens. This thing seems nuts for a merfolk deck. Now, obviously, Catharsis is incredibly good. Lockmare also incredibly good, but we're going to play with the new hotness here, try out a current curriculum, and get really lucky as we get past a Sig. So we've got 2 merfolk rares in a row. Great start to playing a blue-white merfolk deck with some new super sweet spice added. This pack has plenty of other really strong cards. This must have been an absolute banger. Oh my god. The Alchemy card is gone. So it was probably a triple rare pack again. But it was a triple rare pack with 3 super playable rares because Sig and Tam are both greats. And then also Encumbered Reedry for an excellent merfolk, Rhymekin Recluse for an excellent elemental, and just super good card in general to put into any deck. Morkant's Loyalist for the Elf Lord, Liminal Hold and Feed the Flames, and Assert Perfection, and Blight Rot, a common removal spell in 4 different colors. This pack is the stone cold nuts, but we're taking the merfolk. Come on in, Sig. Pick number 3. Uh-oh. We're only 3 picks in, and there's already 0 merfolk in this pack. That is sketchy. Is there anything I'd even play in a blue-white merfolk deck? We could run a very filler Wary Farmer, a very filler Stratosaur, Runaway Together, or Hovel Hurler. These are all cards I really end up cutting 9 times out of 10 if I'm in blue-white merfolk. So I think I'd rather take a stronger card and speculate off color and take Twin Flame Travelers. I mean, we can still just be blue-red elementals and also play Sig, because Sig is a good rate, even if you don't care about merfolk. But obviously, you know, taking the really cool merfolk alchemy rare, we really want to play merfolk if we can. Pick 4 now. Blight Rots, Safe Right Cavalry. Not too much going on off color in this pack, so I feel perfectly fine to just take the Silver Gill Peddler. Pick number 5. Ah. 1 player passed a merfolk, and then nobody's passed a merfolk now. I want to play this current curriculum so badly. There's no elementals in this pack either. There's a really good elf card, but we did also pass an elf lord ourselves. We have no cards towards green or black. There's a good goblin card, but we have no cards towards goblins. It's kind of a worst case scenario start this draft right now, seeing this pack pick 5. Excellent goblin, excellent elf, good green removal. We can play a Celebrant at the top of our curve in merfolk and let us tap creatures for curriculum, so I am going to just stick glued to it no matter what, and we'll just final our merfolk in pack 2. I say that, and then there's 3 really good green and black cards. But Loyalists isn't going to wheel. Okay, we got a problem. Everyone on our right's in merfolk, but I imagine based on what we passed, everyone on our left should be in elves. So we're not going to get elf cards in pack 2, and I'm already halfway through pack 1 to try to start taking elves. So I'd get 1.5 packs of elves to try to make a deck. Oh, man. We're just astronomically hard cut off of merfolk here. Push into green as the most open color. I guess green-white Kithkin, maybe? That would let us try the current curriculum. If we're in a green-white deck with current curriculum and a bunch of like mana dorks, that's a way to keep triggering it and getting creatures every turn. I think Festival's enough better than Druid to take it here. Yeah, nothing wheeled out of our opening pack. Green-white nonsense at this point. Assert Perfection. I mean, this was the incredibly powerful pack, but Assert Perfection went later than Blight Rot, later than Feed the Flames. The Morkant's Loyalist is gone, but that's still, I mean, like green, a good sign for green. And then here's a solid Kithkin pick 11. Green-white Kithkin Convoke stuff? I'm so sad Merfolk was as cut as it was. There was stone cold nothing for Merfolk, but man, did I want to play that cool Merfolk rare. I mean, we still can try it. I'm still going to try it if we play enough Convoke stuff. Some Changelings, maybe. Here's another Festival. Lockmare off the splash, Bree off the splash. It's another super strong pack. There's an Eclipsed Elf for the Elf player. The Elf player is living the dream in this draft pod based on how the first pack went. I think I went too late to get on Elves specifically, but I could go green-white here and go Kithkin. Still end up in the more open colors than trying to force Merfolk and ending up with literally nothing. I kind of want to just take another Festival here. Is that crazy to do? No, Bree's a little slow. Like, when she gets going, really pops off, but kind of easy to counteract Bree. I could take the Sky Swimmer, just have another high mana value Convoke card to get our creatures tapped for the curriculum more often, plus some Merfolk. Might not be that relevant, but still. I'm going to take Sky Swimmer there. Or Sky Swimmer there. Only 3 of these cards have to be in a green deck. It's such a bad idea to take blue spells right now. It is such a bad idea to take blue spells. There are some good cards for Kithkin like Gathering Stone and Mist Meadow Council, but I could take Eclipsed Marrow. This is not a Kindred Merfolk, awkwardly. So I can't find current curriculum off of Eclipsed Marrow. What if I'm deep enough into white? What if I'm like super heavy white splash green, or even like mono white to where I can play Marrow even if I'm not a full-on Merfolk deck? I'm convincing myself to take bad picks because they're cooler. Never mind, actually the best pick ever. There's a second Marrow in a row. This is the direction we get Merfolk. You know what? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Because now I get to get revenge on all these people who didn't let me draft a Merfolk deck. I'm just going to be completely spiteful this draft. Come on in, Rooftop Percher. Oh my god. I thought we were going to stop getting Merfolk, and then we saw Encumbered, Reejerey, Wanderbrine Trapper, and Omni Changeling. Wanderbrine Trapper is a really good combo with current curriculum because you can tap 2 of your creatures off this one card. Reejerey's better raw stats by itself, but I want to just be current curriculum deck. I'm going to take Wanderbrine Trapper. Spikeling towards mono white. Now that the specifically Merfolk are drying up. Spiral into Solitude for removal in the main color, which is white. Preponderant Pearl? Okay. Okay, maybe we do the thing. That's a very good Merfolk card. You get to draw 2 cards off of it. You draw a Ponder, and when you hit your opponent, you draw Flooded Strands. You get a land and a draw spell. Another Clutchan Festival. We're going to be a weird Merfolk Kithkin hybrid here, where the Spikelings probably go up in value. I believe Foul Knight's pretty good with double Festival. Yeah, take a Foul Knight here. Another Spiral into Solitude, wow. I don't hate how my deck looks right now. As weird and awkward as our decisions have had to be throughout this draft with how cut Merfolk was looking. I feel like we found a solid path for it, having this just kind of go wide, convoke Kithkin half of the deck as well. We still have ways to use our current curriculum without specifically having a million Merfolk. Another Foul Knight. Nice with Double Festival. We only need 3 more playables. Draft Pod navigated. White deck forced. Liminal hold here. This just shows how crazy alchemy drafts are. There are 2 mythic rares and 2 rares in this one pack. It is a 4 rare pack. Bitter Bloom Bearer for black decks, we can't play it. Providence of Night for 5 color decks, we can't play it. Harmonized Crescendo, we're not going to be that heavy on one creature type. We have Kithkin and Merfolk and a little bit of Tree Folks. Then Champion the Weird for black decks and goblin decks. We'll just play Liminal Hold. That's a juicy pack to pass to somebody, though. People are going to be happy. Oh, speaking of people being happy, 6 command and Eclipsed Marrow. The person directly on our right is not a Merfolk player, which does make sense because they passed us a Sig already. And so it's the players to their right that are the players drafting the Merfolk. How many Merfolk permanents do I have? 6? I honestly feel like Eclipsed Marrow might be better than 6 command here, just because we might not have a Merfolk on board when we play it, in which case it'll be pretty mid. But Eclipsed Marrow can always at least draw land. I'm going to go Eclipsed Marrow over 6 command here. Because I don't really think we're going to get much more Merfolk at all this pack. If any. I guess a Sneakling is one. Play that over another 3-drop. No respect for Preponderant Pearl. Card is quite solid. There's a Timid Shield Bearer too. I do want more cheap creatures. To sit on the board tapped. I'm taking Preponderant Pearl. Flying Changeling that can hit our opponent to trigger the Pearl. Sure. Pretty good with triple Eclipsed Marrow as well. Flying Merfolk to trigger the Pearl, or just 3-drop Merfolk. I've got a lot of 3s. I don't think... Well, I could cut the Wary Farmers and play another Silvergill Peddler. Still be a little high on 3 mana, but it's possible. Probably better than 3rd Foul Knight. I don't know about better than Shore Lurker with double Pearl in the deck. Shore Lurker's looking a little spicier than usual. I don't know. I'm going to take Peddler. Got the good tap ability. Speaking of good tap abilities, Gravelgill Scoundrel's another way to tap some of our stuff for current curriculum. Here's another Gravelgill Scoundrel. Take that over Temporal Cleansing. I've got Liminal Hold double Spiral already. I think that's fine. That's a late Morkant size. Again, the elf player in this draft pod. Certainly living the dream to an extent. Triple Eclipsed Marrow Runaway together deck. I already put all the Wary Farmers on the side, so maybe play a Runaway together. Definitely play Timid Shield Bearer. All right, adjust the deck a little bit and just hope to draw current curriculum. I think anytime we draw current curriculum, this deck's going to go super hard. And when we don't, it's going to be mid. But hitting some current curriculums would be awesome. What do we do? Spikeling can get out of here. Now we got all these other better 2-drops. We got 19 creatures. We can cut a little bit more. Rooftop Percher, maybe. I feel like we have a low enough curve with triple Marrow and double Preponderant Pearl for early draw as well to cut a land. So cut a land, cut a Spikeling. I like Flock Imposter a lot with double Pearl. Cheap Flying Merfolk. Sig double Pearl is great too. Scoundrels double Pearl are great. I mean, we could actually end up cutting to almost all Merfolk in here. If I drop the Foul Knights, festival-y stuff. 18 creatures, 2 festivals. It's like 20 creatures still. Yeah, I could just cut 3 creature spells. We could drop Double Foul Knight, the Stoneback. Still have Double Festival with a Shield Bearer, and then the festivals are also good with the Convoke. And getting multiple creatures on board to have tapped for current curriculum. Sure. Looks pretty fun to me. Excited to see how this one does. So without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. All right, here we are on the play. For game 1, we've got the current curriculum. Start with Shield Bearer into Marrow. Try to have them both tapped the turn we play current curriculum. Okay. Blue-white mirror match. I'm going to be mana efficient here. There's an argument to play Scoundrel because it gives us a free tap of somebody. I'll play Eclipsed Marrow there. Deep Channel Duelist for the buff. They get the attack and then the free untap. It's going to be quite rough. Liminal Hold, Deep Channel Duelist here. Have to wait on the current curriculum. Because we cannot attack into that board. Wanderbrine Trapper helps current curriculum a lot. But I gotta get rid of Deep Channel Duelist instantly. They have a keep out here, that'd be pretty rough. Actually, probably shouldn't have attacked with Marrow because the Preacher's essentially a lifelinker on attacks. So we're not racing it at all. Just hold up the 3 toughness blocker and try to keep it from sending at us. But if it sends at us, then it's easier to have 2 tapped creatures next turn. Current curriculum. No more creatures, please. Convoke Wanderbrine Preacher, sure. Okay, so they need multiple creatures on their board for that to trigger in the end step. So they can't afford to trade off if we attack both in here. So I think we attack both in. They're not going to block. They can't afford the trade. And then we know our current curriculum pops off. First, we play Wanderbrine Trapper because Wanderbrine Trapper is absurd with the Stonybrook Schoolmasters. Yeah, even if I spiral one of their Preachers, they still get to convoke with them and trigger current curriculum in the end step regardless. So we'll play Wanderbrine Trapper here. I actually could have played Trapper and Scoundrel, I just realized, because I could have convoked with Shield Bearer instead of attacking with it. I'll get better at that. It's my first time running it out, and I gotta remember how relevant the convoke ability is to start it off. First you cast each turn? Yes, Flock Imposture is so nice in this deck. There are so many ways that it copies, or not copies, but synergizes. Sig's Command copies, that's why my brain was having copying on the mind. Their opponent has Sig's Command here. Yep, they're popping off. They are popping off too. But we're popping off with cool synergistic uncommons. They're popping off with rare into rare. So I can convoke out the Flock Impostor essentially for free in the future. If I have 3 untapped creatures. It's not really anybody to spiral into Solitude. I have 5 mana for plussing the whole board here. I need 2 creatures taps. Fine attacking with Marrow. Could double block here. I highly doubt they want to. But if they do, I'll just Flock Imposter right now, I guess. Yeah. So that works. And then we can play Scoundrel. Make sure we have 2 tapped creatures. And I can still go... I can Spiral and activate if I want and still have Flock Imposter up because I can Convoke it next turn. But I would just be spiraling Rejury. I want to hold on to this spiral. Imposter can only pick up creatures, so I can't like pick up my Liminal Hold to try to kill their current curriculum. Champions of the Shoal. Well, there's our Spiral into Solitude target. If I tap the champions, it gets another trigger. So I don't want to tap the champions. I have a hexproof trip. I got the Personify here. Nope. We are really not outracing the triple Preacher. But I'm not blocking with Flock Imposter. Not blocking with Shield Bear either. Yeah. Because we're like slowly building up such a gigantic board with current curriculum. I need this Shield Bearer to stick around. So that's like the most important creature. We are never blocking with that. Oh my god. I don't know if there's any uncommon in the set that I've lost to more than Wanderwine Farewell. I don't know why it's that card exactly. It is a very strong card, but it's not the strongest uncommon. But I've lost so many games to the The big tempo blowouts and stuff from that card. Bring back Duelist for a turn. And bouncing one of my schoolmasters is the super, super rough part. Because then it means that they are now in the schoolmaster lead. I definitely have to just replay a schoolmaster again. And I have absolutely no choice but to liminal hold. Oh, I could liminal hold the curriculum instead of the duelist now. They got much bigger stats if I do that, though. So we're going to be on rough blocks for a while if that's the play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 power over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There's no way I can do that. Too much bigger than our stuff. I mean, I am at 19 lives, so I could let a chunk of it through to kill other cards. This might get me killed, but I'm hitting current curriculum. Full on blocks now. Wanderbind Trapper down the Reejery. Double 6 command current curriculum champions of the shoal. I don't know if my one rare is going to beat all that. Because now they have double deep channel duelists from their second SIGs command. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? That was the draft pot I was praying for when we started this draft. That's absurd. 2 SIGs commands in the top half of the deck, too. So there might even be a third in there somewhere. Okay, yeah, I'm over it. There's only 1 out of 500 games at this point where we could turn things around from that state. Moving on. All right, game 2, we got current curriculum again, but we don't actually have cheap creatures to go with it. We got our 1 Eclipsed Marrow trying to do its best. I'm very happy with how current curriculum played out last game, but again, we would have had to beat current curriculum plus 3 other rares and the Merfolk Lord. So they were just doing what we were doing, except with more bomb power. That's awkward. I think I'm just now realizing I need to play an island first every game because we technically have a double blue 2-drop with Preponderant Pearl. Opponent's on mono black for now. They milled an island off the Scarblade Scout, so blue-black flash? Fairies, there's a Deceit on double black. I'm really salty to lose current curriculum here, but we're still in a really good spot. They have 3 cards in hand, and we have 2 2-for-1s coming up in a row. But this was literally my only goal drafting this deck, was to do as many current curriculum things as possible. And they thought seized my current curriculum. I think I'm allowed to be a little salty about that. Let's just play infinite 2-for-1s, shall we? Grab another Preponderant Pearl. There's Gathering Stone, so Marrow's going to trigger this one and draw us our land for turn. Gathering Stone on Fairies. Keep the top card of their library. Crack the Pearl, play a Flooded Strands. Play a Ponder and a Marrow, and then play the next orb next turn. I think we played this first and then Ponder afterward. Look at the top 4 first. Flash or unblockable on occasion. Let's get the unblockable one. Another unblockable one. Actually, the Peddler to go with the Scoundrel's pretty good. I mean, we'll draw all of them eventually. Bitterbloom Bearer. Sorcery speed. Do you have a counterspell to protect it? No, you're mono black right now. That would live a turn if they flashed it in our end step instead, but they did not. Get another trigger, let them gain some life in order to guarantee we get a Pearl trigger here. And we all but guarantee the Pearl trigger if I just attack with 1. So that'd be fine too. Illusion Spinners is the Gathering Stone draw, but they still haven't hit a blue source. All Lifelinkers and Fairies over there. Start plopping out my many cards. Mill a little Goblin. Draw a Wanderbrine Trapper. What do you see, Ponder? Festival? Yeah, Mana Sinks are good here. Festival and Shield Bearer play well together as well. Decline the shuffle. Gonna hold up Runaway together. Should have a Feastling bounce off 1 Marrow. Let's just go with only the Celebrant. They go to 13. There's Illusion Spinners, which has Hexproof while it's untapped. Go for the double block, go for the Runaway together. Eat the spinners. Plop the marrow down. Pick up a Sky Swimmer that I can then just play. They need like a Rise of Sozin or something, and that's from Avatar and not Lorwyn Eclipsed. I guess the -2/-2 on everybody uncommon would be okay. Spiral's a pretty gross draw. I feel like if I actually Spiral a Lifelinker, we might have lethal right now. They gain 2, they're at 15 with 2 blockers up. Block a 5, block a 2, still take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. If I Spiral a Lifelinker, they're dead. Especially with that block. All right. Rough game for our opponent. They did not hit blue mana for a very long time. But we take those 1-1 heading into game 3. All right, here we are for game 3. Preponderant Pearl into the Sig to guarantee the hit. Kind of want to play Sneakling pre-Sig. We're on the draw. On the draw, we're less likely to get the Sig draw off of the Sneakling. But it's still possible that they don't have a blocker up in time. Just quite unlikely, because they'd need to have no 2 or 3 mana creatures. Since they can play a 3 mana blocker before I get to attack. There's Scarblade Scout. I mean, I guess if they attack with the Scout and then don't have a 3-drop, then it'll still be fine. Black, green, red. Okay, they have a 3-drop. But it's not one that they are going to be happy to block with, so we get some Sig value either way. Either we draw the card, or we kill their card that's giving their stuff hexproof. Protecting it. Oh my god. They are curving out bad on us. They're getting the high perfect next turn. Okay. Okay. Get a Flooded Strand to draw a card. Draw an island. If I ponder now and I like 2 of the top 3 cards, I could draw one of them, then draw the second one next turn, and then Flooded Strand away the third. And that is the case. So let's draw Spiral now. Next turn, draw the Sky Swimmer and Flooded Strand away the island. And we are going to Spiral the heck out of this high perfect. Actually, we can't because they have a TAM. Which is why they didn't take the trade. So I'll have to Spiral TAM then and then hope to find more removal. I don't think I can trade Sig off. If Sig sticks around, Sig does a lot more. If I pay this mana, then I do have a completely indestructible blocker up for a turn. But then I don't get to Spiral TAM yet. But then if they like play the high perfect, I could go like run away together on Sneakling and TAM, untap and Spiral the high perfect. Sure. Is that better than playing the Silver Gill Peddler right now? To hold up the Runaway Together? Because I could still Runaway Together, Tam. I could go like untap, draw, Runaway Together, Tam, and Spiral High Perfect. But then they could, in response to me trying to run away together on Tam, they could respond by giving High Perfect hexproof from all colors. So I think I have to hold up Runaway Together here. For if they hit the land. Didn't hit the land, get punished. That's a very bad attack. They might have misclicked. That was a really, really lucky attack for us. Draw a card. Now that that happened, I don't need Runaway Together up anymore. Mana off from playing Festival and Sky Swimmer. Let's just get a 2-3 down. Dawnblessed Pennant. A bunch of options to bring back already. We're kind of vibing over here. They're just not drawing lands. And they're over it. They are over it. They just had a bunch of like 2-mana 2/2s and then really good 4-mana plays and couldn't hit the 4th mana. The turn that we got to eat their Tam for free with our protection up creature was so monumental for us. Made it so like even if they hit the 4th land, I think we were in an incredible spot there because we just blind away the High Perfect. Now we don't know what else was in their hand. They probably had it. Some additional bomb, but we had a really good lead on that board, so lucky stuff there. 2-1 heading into game 4. Here we are on the play. For game 4, I can't start with blue here because I need the Trapper out first. Figure of the Fable. I mean, I'll spiral that soon enough, but we're already good to attack. So let's just get the Preponderant Pearl cracked. Next turn we can play Spiral and Ponder. You know, I don't even need to spiral that just yet. I'm just going to keep putting stats on the board because they'll have to sink more mana into it. Oh wait, no, it's going to become a 2/3 right now, so I would have to spiral it right now. If I wanted to attack here. This is fine though, we'll play out more to the board rather than attacking. And still have the spiral up well before it pops off. Those are good ones. My oh my, are those good ones. Absolutely keeping all of those. Decline that shuffle. Gangly stompling. Gangly dangly. Unblockable Gravelgill Scoundrel card draw here. If I spiral figure, they have 1 turn to have enchantment removal. I kind of want to do the full 4 mana all in 1 turn to play around any enchantment removal from the mono green deck. And we know they're mono green because they have Evolving Wilds for a forest. Alright, assert perfection on Sig. Eclipsed Marrow, see what we draw, and still do some Gravelgill Scoundrel nonsense. Okay. Man, I wish the current curriculum were a Kindred Merfolk card. Because then I could have picked it up there, and it would have been so good in this position with Trapper and Scoundrel as ways to be triggering it. Oh! Well, that explains the 5 million forests. Every forest is now a 3/4 reach haste. That is going to be a rough time. Okay. Got Liminal Hold and Spiral now. Liminal Hold the Summoner. They get no forest off of its death trigger that way. If they have enchantment removal, it's going to come back. But only one of their cards is going to come back now. So since I'm already playing 1 enchantment removal, I'll just play the both. A mountain, not a forest. Ah, but Tenda Sprigs. That'll be a forest and a 3/4, so double 3/4. Yep. Upgrade figure Fable anyway, so that if they find enchantment removal, they will save it. But obviously, we'll just blight away the figure this turn to make sure that doesn't happen. Do that while they're tapped out. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd have to tap out and hold no blockers up if I want to play Sky Swimmer and Exile figure in the same turn. But my blocks are already not very good for 3/4, so I think I just take a hit for a turn. So make sure we tap all of our creatures. We blight onto the Marrow, and I'm going to flock and posture the Marrow at some point. There's Eclipsed Kithkin. Does find a forest, so it finds the 3/4 reach haste. Festival should be pretty good. It's a way to keep us blocking all of these. It's gonna be a bit of a staring contest here. I think I can start attacking with Gravelgill Scoundrel pretty soon. I don't know about instantly. Run away together, kill the token, pick up the marrow is spice. I think we activate Festival once. Activate Festival once and cast Runaway together. That's the exact 7 mana. Opulent Clomper. Play their land, which is not a forest. Attack with Guild Weaver. Get my token. 1, 2, 3. Block. Run away together. Marrow token. You could also tap one of these so they're not up on blocks, but they'll still have enough. It doesn't matter. 8 mana is enough to play Festival and activate the next one, so we'll do that here. Volatile Rift. Every creature they draw is going to get +5/+0 now because they're going to have full Vivid off the Clomper. So that's pretty scary. That includes the lands. Those are creatures. They're creature cards now. Peddler plus Scoundrel here since I can't get through the reach creatures with the flyer regardless. This will be a turn of not playing a 1/1. I guess I don't really have the extra cards to discard right now because I still want to be playing every single land I draw towards my mana sinks regardless. Nine mana. Yeah, I can play Flock Imposter and activate Festival. So yeah, now I can draw discard. Because I can do everything here. I guess I can double activate Festival if I play this 10th land though, so I'll still play it. Eight, 4 forest. There it is. Clan Festival MVP. Card is outperforming a bomb rare that makes all their lands 3/4s right now. Let's speed up the clock with another Scoundrel. Still have exactly the mana to make another creature this turn. I need to reboot Arena after this. I don't know what's happening to the frame rate right there. That's crazy. 10-4 Chaos Spewer, sick. Preponderant Pearl. Find Ponder. Cast Ponder. Oh, we're so goated. Those are ridiculously good draws. There's my 2 tapped creatures. Draw my extra land, play my Schoolmaster. We're just popping off over here. Oh, the second copy of Figure Fable. Okay. So I see they still have a chance. So this one starts as a 6-1. I see they still have a chance then. I can kill all their flying blockers here. I think I lethal them. Because we go tap another reach creature. 4 damage in the sky. Okay, I guess it's not lethal. I put them to like 2 life here. It's probably lethal going wide on the ground, actually. But it's not lethal with just unblockable creatures, because it's 4 in the sky and 2 unblockable. It's 2 damage off. But if we count up all the ground troops, a couple of those get around, yeah. Alright, crazy game of Magic. But that is now our 3rd win, at least a 50-50 record here, I believe, at 3-1, heading into game 5. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 5. Double Preponderant Pearl opener. We really want to try to get this Eclipsed Marrow in. Another Merfolk deck. Our opponent has the Wanderbrine Trapper turn 1. I think we want to play this Marrow badly enough to ponder towards a land instead of playing Shield Bearer. Does hit a land. We can draw Marrow as well. Poke us with Wanderbrine Trapper. Drop an Encumbered Reejerey. Here is Marrow. Not a bad board for Festival either. Marrow finds Scoundrels and a Peddler. Let's get a Scoundrel here. In this way, our worst case scenario is popping the Pearl later with the Scoundrel. Since we have double Pearl in this hand, it's pretty important for us to find some way to guarantee that hit. Scoundrel does that. Silver Gill Peddler for our opponent. No attacks. Drop another Marrow looking for a land for turn. Or I could play Scoundrel plus Trapper and then use the Pearls to draw 2 lands. When Scoundrel hits them. I think I'm going for another Marrow though. Cool. Lose out on a Sig here. I really wish this were a blue source, but we can still play Trapper with it. There's a Marrow Sky Swimmer getting convoked out for our opponent. Which means we almost definitely get to crack the Pearl here. So I think I'm playing another Pearl and sending in the Marrows. Gonna be a bit of a painful crackback. We get our value this way. Drop Festival. Can hold my mana up to tap one of their creatures. Or I can cast Ponder. If I hold my mana up, they use their trapper to trap mine, and then mine doesn't do anything anyway, so we just have to cast Ponder. Because our Wanderbrine trapper is going to be tapped during their turn. Find a Sig and a Runaway together. No, they didn't tap our trapper. Been a free tap. And we skipped a bunch of free taps in earlier games where we were like, ah, it's kind of irrelevant. But I think it's a little bit relevant here. If they tap our Wanderbrine Trapper, we have 2 1/1s untapped, then they can just attack with Regery and have a 3 toughness attacker against 2 power. Peddler as well. Yeah, if they trappered down our Trapper, they could then attack with Peddler and Regery for free here. Okay, they probably have some kind of combat trick if they're doing things this way. I go to 9 life if I let this all through. The combat trick is like +2/+2 first strike untap or +1/+2 hexproof at common. So an extra 2 toughness either way. Which means if it's any of the combat tricks, I get blown out, even if I block with the whole team. Let's just get a chump in there. We're going to have a Runaway together up soon to try to reverse blow them out. They try to do a combat trick and I just run away together in response. It's probably going to Convoke in such a way that we can play Celebrant and hold up Runaway together in the same turn. Although then the Wanderbrine Trapper's just going to sit there tapping Celebrant anyway. It's probably better to just play more creatures against Wanderbrine Trapper than it is to play a Celebrant. Speaking of playing more creatures, good lord. They have a lot of creatures over there. I don't have the mana to play Rooftop Percher and hold up Runaway together. I can go Sig on a Marrow plus play a Shield Bearer or a Scoundrel. Or I could play Shield Bearer and Scoundrel and hold on to Sig for when I'm going to get a Scoundrel hit. And then I also don't have to try to declare an attack right now. Getting shredded in the sky until we get the Percher down, and then even then, because of their Wanderbrine Trapper, we'll be getting hit. We got to hit some of our removal. We've hit none of it so far, so we're about halfway through with no removal. So the double Spiral into Solitude, Liminal Hold are slightly more likely to show up now than they were earlier. We got to find them quick here. I could have trappered one of their flyers, but I think that our ground is mediocre enough that if I went for that, 2 of our creatures being tapped, they just get to attack freely on the ground that I don't have a Runaway together up. Oh my god. 3rd flyer. We really, really need removal. Because they can't block with Percher, they have a Wanderbrine Trapper. Draw my card. Silver Gill Peddler is not my removal. Gain 3 and make them Wanderbrine trap down the Percher, or do I just Wanderbrine Trapper one of their Sky Swimmers and hold up Runaway Together? Runaway Together on a Sky Swimmer is real bad because they get another creature. I think I'm just playing Percher, gaining a few points of life. Probably dying to all the flyers. Go to 5. And they hit their removal as well. They found Elemental Hold. And we found nothing. Gross. I can tap a flyer and run away together another flyer and take 2 damage next turn and have 1 more draw step. I guess I can try to Peddler into removal as well. Thanks to Scoundrel. Nope. I was really praying they were going to go like too hard here and try to attack all. Because then we have like this chance of like block plus runaway together and then having enough creatures to crack back lethal with a shield bearer. Speaking of crackback lethal, that might be our best bet here. If I run away together now, they just replay the Sky Swimmer immediately anyway. I'm still at 3 life, and I still die to all the flyers next turn. So it might be better to hold this and actually cast it in the end step. And just go to 1 here. They have 7 blockers, though. They'd still have 6 blockers. There's no crackback lethal happening. Yeah, I guess I just cast it now. Yeah, the only way we would have had a shot of that plan of run away together to get blocks out of the way would be if they did just go for the attack all, which we were, I'm pretty sure, dead on board to just like attack all there. But we had open mana and potential instants. So play it safe on that one. Play Gravelgill Scoundrel. And this does make them tap 3 of their blockers at least, but then they get 2 back from replaying Sky Swimmer, so also still doesn't really matter. Still 6 blockers, and we just don't find anything. Another Silvergill Peddler. Marrow can't find removal because none of our merfolk are removal spells. Marrow could find a Sky Swimmer or a Flock Imposter. Yeah, the Marrow could find us blockers, but it can't find removal spells. But at 3 life, I guess I do only need 2 flying blockers, and I've got 1 right now. So I could take 2 and go to 1 still. So I could Marrow into Hardcast Sky Swimmer or Flock Imposter. Well, I mean, if I drew and discarded first, I would have drawn an island anyway. Okay. Could play another Silvergill and then Convoke, but then I don't have enough blockers up to not die. So we Scoundrel a Peddler again. For one final chance at Liminal Hold. And that ain't it. Just can't find what we need that game, and we are 3-2 heading to game 6. Here we are for game 6 with a super unkeepable hand, sadly. Bad man is bad. We will keep this hand. Ditch a land, because Preponderant Pearl is the 3rd land off of Trapper or Sneakling, hitting our opponent. Blue-white mirror match, they start with Sig. Gross. They didn't get the draw off of it, at least. Should be mana efficient here. Play our threats out. No flip of the Sig this turn. Focus for 2, we go to 18. So they're going to play a 3 mana spell, which is Silvergill Peddler. Here's Sneakling. We've got the Spiral for Sig or Peddler. So I could play Pearl plus Spiral, hit for 4. If I do Pearl plus Spiral, that's going to play quite poorly, because then Sig gives Peddler protection from all colors, including white, and the Spiral falls off. So we have to wait till 4 mana for a Spiral. So this turn we have to just Festival Pass. There's really no other line. Unless I'm going to like play Pearl and just hold up Trapper's ability. Big, bold attack here from our opponent. Hit us for 4. Play a land. Play a Tributary Vaulter. Okay. Now I can spiral into Solitude whatever I want to kill, but I will have to Blight immediately to make sure Sig doesn't save anything. And I believe it is going to be Spiral on Sig himself. Stop them from drawing cards. I want to keep the quantity of creatures out high because we've got the ability to tap creatures to do stuff. That's a second must-be-killed bomb rare, or it just wins the game handedly. Seen more than enough of the double team mechanic back in Alchemy Horizons Battle for Baldur's Gate. Those were dark times, and I don't know why we're reliving them. So at least I get to trapper down the sprites every turn to stop the double team, but I can still draft like a rare mythic fairy every turn they cast an instant. Having a super bad time in these alchemy drafts. I guess 3/3 is just the ceiling. Just flat out impossible to do better for some reason. No attacks? No attacks? Breathing room acquired? That does mean they held all their mana up, so now they're going to cast an instant, draft a card from the sprite spellbook. If it's instant speed removal on Trapper, we are cooked. I do like me some flyers here. I don't have the mana to cast either right now. Flock Imposture gives me more value, but Percher is the thicker, better blocker. I'm going to get a little greedy with it. I'm taking Flock Imposture with Eclipsed Marrow. All right. Draw 3, draft a card from the spellbook, discard 2. Hopefully they only hit the black spells and they have to just discard one of them. Nope. They drafted something out of the spellbook that's better than Marrow Sky Swimmer, which is a very strong card. Oh my god, and then they drafted something better than Temporal Cleansing? Or drew something better than Temporal Cleansing? Off of the Silvergill Peddler. And then something better than literally like one of the best 5 alchemy rares? What on earth is in your hand? It's the biggest nightmare of all time. They're over here discarding great flyers, removal spells, and bomb rares. Like, what do we... what am I even doing here? Just sitting across the table from this. Why am I here right now? Encumbered Reejerey. Eclipsed Marrow, yeah. Find Preponderant Pearl. Play Preponderant Pearl. More than good enough for me. 3-3 it'll be. Just cannot break the 3-3 ceiling in these alchemy drafts. Rough stuff. We had our Kithkin draft. I thought we had a really excellent deck. Still went 3-3 with this. This was a really solid deck. We had a 3-1 start with it. But just the double loss in a row. Couldn't draw any removal to deal with the Flyers the game before that. And then this final loss was very similar to our first loss. Just playing against a fellow Merfolk player who has a lot stronger spells, more spooky rares and stuff than we do. And that'll do it. I think we ended up with a very solid deck in this draft pot, actually. This deck ended up being a lot better than I thought it would be. Still, again, just got an average run, but it looked like Merfolk was just completely not going to happen whatsoever in that first pack. But then the second pack, or third, I don't remember exactly, we got like multiple Eclipsed Marrow in a row, and it was like, all right, well, I can still do my current curriculum stuff. Now, I do think we ended up in a bit of a weaker deck than we could have if we just immediately hopped off of the current curriculum train and just took what was most open. We probably end up in green-black elves or green-white Kithkin or something like that, one of those strategies, and have a better deck by a bit. I don't think it would have been astronomically better unless I had like a sixth sense and like pick 2 took the green-black elf lord or something over Sig. Yeah, I mean, I don't think when you start pack 1, pick 1 current curriculum, and then you see pick 2 Sig, I don't think you can make a reasonable argument to take the Elf Lord there over taking Sig. But that would be like the one Magical Christmas Land, knowing exactly how the rest of the draft is going to go. That would be the pick that then does end up giving us a much better deck than we ended up with if we just immediately full pivot off curriculum, just right onto the Elf Lord elves. But if I took the Sig and then saw mediocre Merfolk from there and just took elf cards from like pick 3 onward, I would have ended up with a deck that was a bit better than this blue-white Merfolk deck for sure. But again, it still ended up surprisingly decent here, with a few removal spells, some good rares, the curriculum and the Sig, a lot of good value with all these Eclipsed Merfolk. So, yeah, bummer of an ending, but a better deck than I thought it would be, a worse record than I thought the deck would end up getting, though, at 3-3 for this draft. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send us more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.